But Rob, this was the year. You heard it throughout the regular season. Oh, they said the big man was dead. They said all the sinners were gone. This is the year of the big man renaissance. You got Giannis. You got Nikola Jokic. You got Joel Embiid. The 3 top MVP candidates, all 7-foot centers. And everyone was saying, see, size does matter. And last year, it started from the finals last year when Milwaukee, with its size, Giannis and Brook Lopez, against Phoenix with its size, with DeAndre Ayton, and they went in and out this year and got JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo. And big was all the rage. And now, Rob, in the season that really matters, when the rubber really hits the road and we are in the NBA playoffs, it is the small ball that is prevailing. Giannis, gone. Embiid, gone. Jokic, gone. And Rob, the Final Four, Boston and Miami in the East, Golden State and Dallas in the West. Guess what? There is one starter among the 20 starters left in the playoffs. One starter who is taller than 6'9". And that's Dwight Powell in Dallas, who's 6'10", and he's, a role player. So in these playoffs, Rob, at least this year, small ball, spreading the floor, spacing the floor has prevailed. Dallas ran Utah out of the gym because they spread the floor. They were beating them even without Luka. And Dallas spread out Phoenix, put 5 on the outside, and let Luka or Jalen Brunson handle the rock, beat their man off the dribble, and either get to the rim or kick it out for a 3. And it made the big men, Rudy Gobert in Utah, DeAndre Ayton with Phoenix, it made the big men guard. And even in Boston, Rob, and I know that's Milwaukee's style of defense, they'll give up the 3, but Brook Lopez couldn't get out there and guard the 3. That's why Grant Williams was wide open for all those 3-point attempts, because Brook was trying to protect the rim, help out on the dribblers, the penetrators, and they just kick it out for a 3, and he couldn't get out there in time to contest. So I don't know. What do you think about, did we get kind of ahead of ourselves in talking about this big man renaissance? And do you think it's, trending in that, that mid-sized player being on the perimeter? Yeah, and that's the key.
Yeah, I'm not so sure yet, because obviously Durant went out early. And Giannis,
while he's a 7-footer, he does play like a perimeter guy.
I'm just saying, but you could wind up in the East with Giannis and Durant. I'm just saying, not what you think of as small guys or guards, right? I'm saying, yes, when Giannis won, we thought, okay, well, they didn't win with the little guy on the perimeter, and maybe this is changing. But what do you think of even in Boston? I mean, I know Jason Tatum isn't a guard.
He's 6'8",
right? So you would still think of him as a little guy, or
well, not a little guy, but small. I mean, 6'8" isn't big by NBA standards. I mean, that's the mid-size.
Right,
that's about the average size.
6'8", 6'9".
Right. I'm just saying, not having like a 7-footer who plays inside primarily. Yeah, last year with Lopez and Giannis, that was a big part of their championship. And it was good. And Ayton played well for Phoenix. I'm just saying, now, these teams, it might just be this year, Rob, but right now these teams spread everybody out, and you got to get out there and guard on the perimeter. And even like Embiid even plays on the perimeter a lot. But I just think it's an interesting development that needs to be paid attention to. And you wonder, you look at how teams will build themselves. Like this Golden State Dallas series, Rob, it's going to be a lot of small ball. You know? I mean, Kevin Looney 6'9". Okay, he's their center.
Draymond Green.
Draymond 6'6". You know? Wiggins 6'7". Clay 6'6". Steph 6'2". Like,
right.
And Dallas is going to be small. I mean, they got Dwight Powell, but obviously they're going to spread the floor.
It's. I think this is more like where the NBA's headed, but I don't think that occasionally, Chris, a big guy, depending on, you know what I mean, the year could have a major impact.
No doubt.
But I do agree with you that this is more like the future of the NBA. We don't see those big guys like we used to see where everybody had one, where they could find a Patrick and they could find a Hakeem and they could find, a Rick Smits. Like those, everybody had one, Chris. Now you can't find one. I just
and
don't.
Even
like, where'd those guys go?
Where even a lot of them, Rob, they play outside.
Right.
I mean, Brook Lopez has been a 3-point shooter. I mean, remember, early in his career, he was a post-up guy and was good, giving you 20 points a game on the block. And then he morphed into a 3-point shooter. And, they've put him down on the block a little bit in Milwaukee. But Embiid, I want to see Embiid down there more. It's kind of – and it's an interesting thing because if you do have a big, Rob, like I love Embiid's game. He is one of the best mid-range shooters in the league. But I still think he needs to utilize his size more.
But he had an MVP type season without doing so. So it'll be hard for him. Do you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, Chris. But what didn't he do this year? He led the league in scoring.
No,
it's not
right. But at the end of the day, and I get it. You're right. Look, he's wildly effective the way he's playing.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, what is the benefit of being 7 feet tall and big like he is if you're not going? Now, he's not Durant. Durant's one thing to be on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just a natural jump shooter and all that. But Embiid could just punish people inside. And he goes inside more than most. I'll give him that. But that's not saying a lot compared to what guys used to do. I'm just saying, if you got a guy like that, do you need to play differently than most of these other teams? You have to hit threes. But you could have him be down low a lot, still let him shoot his jumpers, but he can either score, draw double teams, or kick it outside to the 3-point shooters. So it's not like you have to give up the 3 when you got a big. I mean, some people say it's easier to double, but you want the double. I want the double on the post so I can kick it out to a shooter.
Right. Somebody wide open if you came to double me, right?
Right. So it's an interesting development, but Rob, we were talking about, like, we were saying, man, people were talking about the demise of the big man, and this year it was a renaissance. But here's the challenge, and this is why Giannis is a little different, Rob, and he got his ring, whereas Jokic and Embiid haven't, is that he can handle the ball. Most bigs, even historically,
he could dribble full court. Right.
That's why a big has always needed a great perimeter player, right? Wilt had, Hal Greer and then Jerry West when he won his rings. Kareem won it with Oscar and Magic, never without him. Shaq had Kobe or Wade. The bigs need somebody historically
to get them the ball.
Somebody to get them the ball, no matter how good they were. Giannis, that's one thing that separates him, Rob, is that he can just take the ball himself, and that's huge.
And go coast to coast, dribble it all away, Chris, and make a basket or make a shot or whatever it is in the paint or shoot from outside or whatever it is. And that's what makes him so dangerous, is that he can do that.
And Jokic can do it too.
Right.
but he's not. I think for Jokic, Rob, and he's great, but I do think sometimes the lack of athleticism and great defense hinders him. Like, that's why you wonder. I mean, he has gotten the team to the conference final. It was in the bubble. It was a little odd, right? But is he going to get over the hump? And, maybe it's just that he hadn't had his wingman. When he had Jamal Murray healthy, they did get to the conference finals. So once he gets Murray back, maybe he'll get back there or further. So we'll have to see. But